Good afternoon. Welcome to Tribune News on Q. You go to afternoon news source only here at Daily Tribune. We are now live at Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune Now on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. For today's headlines, the National Bureau of Investigation confirmed on Friday that it had already requested the International Criminal Police Organization, or Interpol, to issue a red notice against former Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldico. The Criminal Investigation and Detection Group on Friday turned over 15 more boxes of documents on alleged ghost infrastructure projects to the Independent Commission on Infrastructure. Former Quezon City Mayor Herbert Bautista has been cleared of graft charges by the Sandigan Bayan in connection with the city government's 25.34 million peso solar power project in 2019. With an uncertain future and one of its officials on his way out, the Independent Commission for Infrastructure will hold its last hearing for the next week, with former Public Works Undersecretary Maria Catalina Cabral summoned to appear. Chinese ships swarmed the country's regular aid mission are expected to move marginally next week, with diesel likely posting a small rollback and gasoline could move in different directions. Only in the last few days did Stephen Curry fully regain range of motion in his injured left thigh so he could resume all activity on the practice floor with the Golden State Warriors. Gabriela Women's Party called on the producers of Pinoy Big Brother Celebrity Collab Edition 2.0 to enforce stronger measures against inappropriate and objectifying remarks inside the house. Today is the 12th of December 2025, Friday, and I'm Louisse Kalingag, bringing you today's top stories. Let's get started. The National Bureau of Investigation confirmed on Friday that it had already requested the International Criminal Police Organization, or Interpol, to issue a red notice against former Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldico. The NBI spokesperson, Attorney Palmer Malyari, said that the request was made last month. The request came after 3 divisions of the Sandigan Bayan issued arrest warrants for Co and 15 other individuals involved in the flood control anomaly. A red notice is a request to law enforcement worldwide to locate and provisionally arrest a person pending extradition, surrender, or similar legal action. The Criminal Investigation and Detection Group on Friday turned over 50 more boxes of documents on alleged ghost infrastructure projects to the Independent Commission on Infrastructure. The CIDG arrived at the ICI headquarters in Taguig City at around 10:30 a.m. this Friday. The CIDG officials have yet to provide details about the documents that they turned over to the ICI, but some of the boxes that the media saw from the CIDG carry a mark that they were from Region 4B of the Department of Public Works and Highways. Former Quezon City Mayor Herbert Bautista has been cleared of graft charges by the Sandigan Bayan in connection with the city government's 25.34 million peso solar power project in 2019. During the case's promulgation on Friday, the Sandigan Bayan 3rd Division said the promulgation failed to prove his guilt beyond reasonable doubt. With the ruling, the court also lifted the whole departure order against Bautista. However, Bautista's former city administrator, Aldrin Cunha, was found guilty of graft and sentenced to 6 to 8 years of imprisonment without civil liability or entitlement to retirement benefits. The court granted Cunha provisional liberty and, as sought by the prosecution, ordered his 90,000 cash bond doubled. He was given 5 days to comply with the requirement. With an uncertain future and one of its officials on his way out, The Independent Commission for Infrastructure will hold its last hearing for the year next week, with former Public Works Undersecretary Maria Catalina Cabral summoned to appear. ICI Executive Director Brian Hosaka on Thursday said that the commission wanted to verify certain information from Cabral, which he declined to specify. Cabral, who resigned in September, has not confirmed her attendance for the December 15 hearing. Chinese ships swarmed the country's regular aid mission for fisherfolk of Scarborough or Panatag Shoal on Friday in what West Philippine Sea Monitor deemed to be as new normal. Commodore J. Tariela, Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, confirmed that a Kadiwa mission is ongoing in Panatag Shoal, also locally known as Bajo de Masinloc. Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources 44-meter vessel BRP Cape San Agustin and 6 other BFAR's 30-meter vessels arrived as close as 30 nautical miles east of Panatag Shoal on Thursday afternoon, but the ships have since repositioned overnight to 70 nm southeast of the shoal, according to the Sea Light Director Ray Powell. And for our business news, fuel prices are expected to move marginally next week, with diesel likely posing a small rollback and gasoline could move in different directions, according to Jetty Petroleum President Leo Bellas. In a disclosure on Friday, Bellas said diesel prices may drop to by 0.10 peso centavos to 0.30 centavo per liter, based on the first 4-day average of the mean of Platts Singapore, or MOPS, and foreign exchange movement compared with the last week's full average. Meanwhile, the Philippine Stock Exchange posted a modest gain, closing at 5,997.64, up to 7.64 points or 0.13%, reflecting a cautiously optimistic sentiment among investors. In contrast, the broader all shares index slipped by 18.59 points or 0.54%, signaling mixed performance across the market. Sectoral indices showed varied movements. Financials, industrial, holding firms, property, and mining and oil, and all recorded gains, with mining and oil leading the advance after climbing to 1.60%. Industrial stocks also showed strong momentum, adding 47.43 points, while holding firms increased by 0.39%. The services sector was the day's sole laggard, dropping 0.60%, weighing on the broader market performance. Despite this decline, the positive moves in most sectors helped stabilize investor sentiment as varied industries showed signs of resilience. And for our sports news, only in the last few days did Stephen Curry fully regain range of motion in his injured left thigh so he could resume all activity on the practice floor with the Golden State Warriors. Now, Curry hopes he's ready to play at full speed again. Coach Steve Kerr said Thursday the 37-year-old two-time MVP is expected to return for Friday's game against Minnesota following a 5-game absence, nursing a left quadriceps contusion and muscle strain. The Warriors went 3-2 without him, and now he is expected to play alongside younger brother Seth Curry for the first time. And for our entertainment news, the Gabriela Women's Party called on producers of the Pinoy Big Brother Celebrity Collab 2.0 to enforce stronger measures against inappropriate and objectifying remarks inside the house, following male housemates' objectifying remarks against the female contestants. In a statement posted on their social media pages, the group said the incident reflects a broader cultural problem, the continued normalization of sexist jokes among young people. The recent exchange on Pinoy Big Brother Celebrity Collab Edition 2.0, where female housemates were called out inappropriate jokes and objectifying remarks, highlights a broader cultural issue we continue to face. The normalization of birong bastos among young people, began the statement. And for this afternoon's trivia, on December 12, 1888, a committee of 20 young women of Malolos, Bulacan presented to Governor General Valeriano Weyler upon his passage through his city a memorial petitioning for authority to open a night school at the residence of the Rufina Reyes under the auspice of Senor Teodoro Sandico, then professor of Latin, and whom they mentioned as the most suitable person to instruct them in the beautiful Spanish language. Sandico was in fact already clandestinely teaching the women Spanish language. And for our viral story, a TikTok user pretended to cry as she went upstairs to explore the new apartment she had just moved into, where goats and sheep were randomly blocking her path with no indication of who owned them. Netizens were quick to joke, sino ba kasing naglalatin? And landlord yan sila. Let's watch
Gusto ko
this.
lang naman tumaas ng bahay. Paano ako tataas? Patingin pa siya sa akin. Tangin na may isa pa. Gusto ko na tumaas. Gusto ko lang naman.
Katribu, with only 13 days left until Christmas, each passing day gently reminds us of the love and gratitude this season brings. That's all for now. Join us again at 4:30 p.m. still here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Tribune on YouTube, and Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. Once again, I'm Louise Kalingag, and this has been Tribune News on Q.